Your rum, Captain.
Ah, yes, me rum. Thank you, my dear. Aye, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's an empty bottle. Fetch me another bottle of rum.
Aye, Captain.
Ha ha ha! Ah, tonight be a perfect night to set on the open seas, ready for our destination. I guess I should mention it to the crew, where we're headed. Aye, you scurvy dogs! Your captain has some information for you. Gentlemen and ladies, we are about to set sail on the seas for a land full of riches and wonder and plenty of great conversation over a wonderful bottle of rum.
Captain, where be our heading?
Aye, Cookie, we be heading straight and true right into the storm, because the storm will take us to the place where we really want to go. Are you all ready for the trip? Then get to your stations, you lily-livered scurvy dogs, as we sail straight and true into the storm, and they will take us to the Island of Wonders.
Captain! The man has been hit by lightning!
Gather around the screen tonight. Talk show's got a sailor's might. Captain's chair neath bright spotlight. On Walk the Plank we set our sights. Cast aboard, tell tales so bold. Seek the truth or break the mold. Walk the plank, be brave or cold. Do a sheer as secrets unfold. Walk the plank. Ooh, walk the plank. Stories given, memories banked. For the old sweet hearts and shanks. Every night we walk the plank. Every night we walk the plank. Mysteries at last collide. On the plank there's no place to hide. Through the waves of words we guide. Never know what's on the tide. Audience in loud delight. Sailor charms in the anchor's sight. Questions like a cannon's flight. On Walk the Plank we steer the night. Walk the plank. Ooh, walk the plank. Stories given, memories banked. For the old sweet hearts and shanks. Every night we walk the plank.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. I am Captain Jack Morgan, and this is Walk the Plank. Yes, we are on episode number 4. Seems like everybody's got something on their plate that they just want to scrape off into the garbage. After all, it is no holds barred here on Walk the Plank. And my next guest for episode 4, well, he's right now just like everybody else. He's got a lot on his plate, or should I say a lot on his plank that he wants to now dish off into the metaverse and let everybody know exactly how he's feeling about certain things, whether it's happy, sad, or indifferent. We won't know until we get a chance to talk to the young man. And he is right over here. It's Mr. DJ Tiger 42. DJ Tiger, welcome to Walk the Plank. How are you today, sir?
Thank you very much. I'm fine. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Good. So I'm going to start off with this. Welcome to Walk the Plank, and happy CP Awareness Month this month. The month of March is the awareness month for cerebral palsy. And our guest, Mr. DJ, as well as his wife, both have cerebral palsy. Could you please educate us on exactly what cerebral palsy is real quick, and let us know how does that all come about?
All right. Well, the easiest way to answer that is cerebral palsy is caused by lack of oxygen to the brain during, before, or right after birth. Um, and the longer you are deprived without oxygen, the worse the cerebral palsy can get. It basically can affect the upper limbs. It can be mental, it can be physical, it can affect the lower limbs, swallowing, anything that's a muscle. It can also affect verbal communication, depending on the type of cerebral palsy that you have. My wife and I have spastic cerebral palsy, which causes muscle spasms and severe pain and pain crisis at times, but we are able to communicate. She is able to walk. She walks short distances and she does use a chair when she needs it, but she walks up on her tippy toes because the heel cords can't flatten. Me, I am wheelchair bound, but I can walk with crutches, a walker, or assisted by a person or handrails.
All right. And did you create a world here in Horizons dedicated to the education of cerebral palsy?
We did actually about 2 years ago now. Funny how time flies as you get older and more senile, forgetting what you went into the kitchen for and shutting the door for no reason. And no, I'm just saying,
Happens all the time. Yes.
we decided to really get the word out about cerebral palsy because we noticed that in the metaverse there wasn't a lot of education about it because there's so many different disabilities that are kind of in the forefront. We wanted to specify a world where people could come in, learn about the equipment, the power chairs, the crutches, the braces, what CP is, what it does, how we're not different. We just do things differently and get it done a different way. We're just like everybody else. We just have a different way of doing things. And that world took off like wildfire. It blossomed into something that we never imagined it could. We've hosted seminars. I mean, it is, we have games there. We have different objects that are explained and talked about. You can press buttons and find out about different scenarios. We have an auditorium. We have bowling. We have a football field that you can throw the football around. I mean, it's lovely. You can actually ride on a wheelchair around a track and actually kind of feel what it's like a little bit in virtual reality to go around and be either on a really fast ass roller coaster and not fall out, or jump out in the middle and go, oh crap, I got to start again. So it's a lot of fun and we really enjoy it.
And from what I'm to understand, your CP awareness world isn't the only world that you've created here in the metaverse. You have another one that you're going to be opening up soon, do you not?
We do. It is called the Laughing Tiger. I've been doing comedy in the metaverse now for almost 2 years. It started. I wanted to do it, and actually I got my debut was at the Soapstone, and I went there and tried out a couple times. I tried out at Cahoots, your comedy club, and I said, you know what? When I did the $1,000 spotlight, I was blessed enough to win that and go on, to the finals and win with 2 other winners. I said, you know what? I want to have my own club where I can go in and headline and bring comics in because I want to give people a chance. I don't care if you have a disability or not. You can't teach funny. You're either there or you're not. And there are so many comics in the metaverse that will make you laugh to the point of expulsion. I'll put it that way.
My.
Do
you speak from experience?
Captain being one of them.
The only shit I got rid of is when I told you to get off the stage. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
and it's happening again. Oh no, but
we kid because we care. We kid because we care.
I honestly think that there's so many people that are afraid to get up on stage and just let loose. And I think once I knew I could do it because I'd done it live before, but in the metaverse it's different because everybody's the same. There's no handicap, there's no disability, there's no you can't see it, so you're not noticed as, oh, look at the kid in the chair and look what he's doing. You're the avatar that's, wow, okay, so I can laugh at myself pretty easily. All I have to do is look in the mirror. But for other people to laugh and for me to tell a story with a joke about myself, it's okay to laugh at yourself and to have material to use to make fun, because if you can do it to yourself, you learn to have fun with everybody else, and it doesn't hurt so much. It takes away a lot of the pain that you suffer. Even right now, I'm going through a chronic pain crisis, and I got up. I said, I'm going to do the show. I've got to. I told Captain Jack I was going to be there. People can't see the inside. They don't know about days where you can barely lift your feet or your arms or your hands because everything hurts. It's not like, I had a long day at work today and I'm tired. I'm going to sleep for a couple hours and I'll be okay. It's, man, this sucks. My hands don't cooperate. My feet don't cooperate. I can't turn. I can't move. I'm just one ball of pain. And sometimes that happens, but you move on and you breathe and you yell and scream, and laughter is the best medicine for pain. And I literally, I can say that I watch more comedy to ease my pain with Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Ralphie May. There are hundreds of Jay Leno that I watch just to distract myself, and it helps. So there's not a cure, but it makes it easier to get through this hellacious thing called CP with a little bit of laughter. A little bit of laughter goes a long way.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And from what I know, the Soapstone and My Place Cahoots are not the only places that you performed at. Have you performed in any other places here in the metaverse? And people may have seen you.
So I've been given opportunities of the Firehouse. Oh gosh. I can't not think of the other club we went to. I've been to like so many others. It's even hard to say, because I know I went to what's his name? Now my brain's gonna go and it's gonna go away. I'm so sorry, I cannot think of his name.
You're all right.
Oh wow.
Well, let's touch base really quick for the Firehouse. When you mentioned the Firehouse, I know as well as you know the owner of the Firehouse, wonderful man and wonderful establishment. And I know things weren't always peaches and cream for any place that you've gone. You've had some people. You've had your haters. You've had your haters that didn't either understand your comedy, or they didn't like the way that you delivered things, because you being handicapped, maybe you be making fun of a handicapped situation, which, hey, lighten up. If you can, like you said, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at, really? You need to be able to laugh at yourself first. I mean, even with what is the saying that you say when you start all of your sets? When you say, "Hi, I'm DJ, I'm the," and then what do you tell people?
Oh, I'm D to the J to the rollaway. That's kind of what I do.
I meant something a little different, where you say, "I'm the stand-up comic that doesn't stand."
Yeah,
or can't stand. That can't stand.
You know what I can't stand? Let me rephrase. No, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
You know what? I can't stand that.
There you go.
I have haters and detractors. Just like in real life. But in real life, I roll them over. Here, I block them. And I don't.
Block button is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, but if it wasn't for J Bags, I wouldn't be the person that I am now. He's a great individual. He is fair, and he's tough and rugged around the edges, man. And you got to be when you run a club like that, because people are just like in real life. People are going to be here to cause bullshit, and you got to know how to get in and out of it. I'm not going to mention any names, but there are people that said some things and did some things because I made jokes about a handicap situation or myself, and there was a roast, and I was in it hardcore, man. And I roasted this guy, and I roasted the hell out of him. But the comic part about it was I was doing it to myself. The jokes I were making were to myself. Well, he got death threats and all this stuff, and I didn't realize it. And there was stuff going on that nobody told me until later. And I, felt bad for the poor guy, but he just turned it around, and there was a bunch of stuff that happened. There was an episode with my wife where, we left the firehouse because of an issue that happened. She made a mistake, which she has to live with for the rest of her life, and everybody makes mistakes. I love her. She's my wife. We were engaged at the time. And this person took that and ran with it and got something they weren't supposed to have and exposed it to me. And I thought this person was my friend and would not go that far. When you go to real life and you expose my wife and disrespect my wife, no, that's when the gloves comes off, the chairs come off, the wheels come off. I'll hobble my crippled ass straight on through, and I'll bust you right in the mouth. I'm just saying straight on, that's who I am. You can hurt me. I can handle that. I can handle that just fine. I've been hurt before. I get my legs, sew it back on, tape it back on, carry it. I don't care. Hobble along. Call me what you want. But you hurt my wife.
What? I don't doubt that you can do this too, because you told me a story not that long ago about an individual on the street that attempted to mug you. And what did you do with that individual? Give the listeners a little insider about what DJ is all about.
Well, when I was 24 years old, I weighed 312 pounds. I had no use of my legs, and I started taking martial arts. And I took martial arts for 12 years. I became a black belt, and I studied karate, and I just Shotokan karate, a little bit of Shito-ryu, and some Muay Thai, and also jiu-jitsu techniques. And I was coming home from class one day, and I had my gi on, for God's sake. And I was getting out of my van. My friend was driving me, and I was getting out of my van and putting gas on the car. And a guy came up to me and he said, "Give me some money." And I said, "Sorry, I don't have any." And he said, "Well, what you gonna do if I take some, you little fucker?" I'm like, "Really?" I said, "I really don't think you want to do that, but that's your choice." I went back to what I was doing, and he came up, and I had my pouch on the side of my chair, and he went to grab my pouch. And when he did, I trapped his arm in my chair, turned my chair around, flipped his arm backwards, and put him in an overhand wrist lock, and dropped him to the ground, and took his wallet out of his back pocket, laid it on where my gas pump was. And I go, "Now you were going to do this to me." I said, "This can end one or two ways. I can end your life right now, break your arm, put it on my trophy case, and go home. Or I can let you live, go home, give you back your wallet, and teach you that just because a person's in a chair, they're not a fucking target." And his exact response was, "Ow, ow, ow, sorry, didn't know, ow, 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 let me go. And I said, "Ow, ow, ow, okay, go home."
There's two reasons why I'm laughing at that. Number one, that it's always funny to hear you tell that story because it gets more entertaining every time you tell it. The other reason why I'm laughing at it is because those who don't actually know, because you can't see them and you don't have to point that direction, but his wife is just in the audience area listening to DJ in his interview. And every time DJ talks, I know she's got to be sitting right next to him because as he's talking, I see her lips move, repeating everything that he's saying. And it's actually pretty funny. You might want to put yourself on mute so it stops distracting me. It's like you're telling him what to say. It's actually pretty funny. So anyways, just remember, just because that somebody may be in a wheelchair does not make them helpless. As a matter of fact, many people that might have a handicap are much stronger than we will ever be, the ones that actually have usage of our limbs, because they've had to learn how to cope with life in different ways that we may never know. So to me, in my opinion, that makes them far stronger than we will ever be. And it's not just physical strength. A lot of it is mental strength. They are much stronger in that aspect. So kudos to you for being able to defend yourself and, doing the right thing and, letting him live and not taking his arm and putting it on the trophy case. I'm sure your wife would have put it on the barbecue and you guys could have had finger sandwiches. I mean, I don't know, but be that as it may. Be that as it may. You've had your bouts here in and out of the metaverse, but let's concentrate just within the metaverse, if we can, just for a second. I know that you've had some, how do I put this, recent interactions now to come to find out. When we were planning on this episode of Walk the Plank, none of this had even happened at this point. So we were going to talk about a bunch of other stuff. Then all this other crap has happened to you. And it's like, holy crap, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. That's a wonderful thing. So I want you, if you would, to fill in our viewers about, well, what the hell has been going on with you right now within the past couple weeks? What's been happening, DJ? What kind of shit you been getting yourself into now?
Man, I tell you, my chair rolls through it, boy. Even in the metaverse, right on through it. Shit stain.
I smell the burn rubber now as we speak. Yes.
Oh God, I love this show.
I'm glad your mattress is in front of you to protect you.
Oh Jesus, here we go. That's another story.
That's another story altogether. That's right.
There's an individual that several folks have dealt with, but I refuse to name names because I was taught how to do things and how to handle things, and this is the way I choose to handle it for right now, unless I choose to bring their name out and totally burn them. I don't know yet.
That's entirely up to you. I told you it's up to you whether or not you want to name names. There's no shame not to do it. We've had guests that have done it that way where they don't want to name names. And we've had guests that are like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to lay it on the line. I'm going to let everybody know who the POS is that's pissing me off. It really depends on you and how you want to deal with it.
Well, Captain, I'll take the high road for once in my life because my chair can go up the fucking hill, even though I don't want to.
There you go.
I had an issue.
Just watch out for that avalanche.
God, that's cold.
Yes.
There was an individual, and they, a couple of years ago, made a comment about my fiance at the time, and told her she had a nice ass, and I'm like, dude, I'm right fucking here, and I blocked them immediately. She blocked them immediately because we knew that this person was going to be troublesome, shall we say. Well, I was in a certain place about maybe a couple days ago, and I was talking with someone about an individual with cerebral palsy. My wife was, actually. And she brought me in because I know a little bit more of the technical side of the terms and can can explain some of it, if I can get the words to actually come out of my mouth. Sorry, but to explain some of the technical stuff is easier for me than her, so because she doesn't have to think about it, because English is not her first language. I'm pretty sure it's not her second either. But I literally was talking to this person about, a person with CP who is very much almost nonverbal, no use of their limbs, and they're kind of trapped because they're in a living facility and really trying to figure things out, and they felt like they were a burden to their parents. So they decided to move into a living facility, which was a really tough decision at the time. And she wanted to know if, how to kind of break away from this person, because they were very clingy, and when you have cerebral palsy and you don't have a lot of friends and you're in the metaverse and you're scared and it's different. The world's a fucking cruel place on the outside. Mm-hmm. You're in a chair and you're drawn up and you look like for lack of better terms, blueberry with drawn up arms and drawn up legs. Good God, it's like a Macy's Day float. Bring them down. We're voting. You can't. I'm sorry, but I try to go with laughter, but it's hard sometimes to see people in horrible effects of CP and what it does. And when you don't have any friends and you talk about it, she wonders, what do I got to do? They wonder, what do I got to do? Because this person wants to talk to me all the time and I can't. And I said to her, I said, when they cling like this, the only thing you can do is break away, because they don't know what to do. And this person saw my wife and myself in the place that I was in, and they just started talking to this person and said some things about my wife they shouldn't have said, don't trust her, she'll turn her back on you just like she turned on me. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, okay, here we go. That's again, you insult my wife. Wait a minute. Put a little boogie in it. So I took off the gloves, took off the wheels, and I'm ready to go. And the person that was in charge of this place, I spoke my side to her, and I told her what I told her. I said, this person's not a good person. I wouldn't deal with them. And the owner of the establishment was like, no, this is not true. This person's wonderful. They've changed, blah, blah, blah. And this person plays both sides like a game board. I mean, Monopoly, you got the dog, the car, he's got all the pieces moving them all in one direction. You play from both sides, you're going to get both sides, and tell people that are on both sides what's going on from both parties. So I found out later on that she not only, to me, was going back to the person that has caused us problems before, telling them what we were saying, but what the person that we despise is saying. So getting played by both sides again. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to be around there. I'm not going to go in there. The person's still blocked. My wife was like, well, let me unblock them because I want to hear what they have to say. And I plainly told her, I said, listen, you don't need to defend what doesn't need to be defended. You didn't do anything wrong. When you do something wrong, you suck up to it, you like a man, or you complain and run like a little victim bitch, which is what this person did. And, oh, woe is me, and I want this to stop, and I'm going to post a video on Facebook because I got butthurt because somebody said I was a bad person. Well, if you would stop victimizing people and stop putting them in harm's way and telling married men's wives that they have nice asses. My wife does have a nice ass. I know she does. I deal with it, but it's mine. And you can't have it. So, long story short, you do the crime, you do the time, suck it up, get over it, Grow up, you prick. Okay.
So
Whoa.
let me- I just want to make sure I got this right, because that, to me, that was kind of all over the place. I was going back to I thought you were talking about it originally, something that happened way back in the past, and now it seems to turned into something that's happened now. So I just want to make sure I got the story correct. So so here we go. So anyways, so basically, this individual that you want to leave nameless had said that your wife has a nice backside. And at the time that he said this, you guys were only engaged at the time, or was this something that he
Correct.
did
Yeah,
recently? Okay, so he
correct.
did this. Okay, so he did that when you guys were just engaged. It's irrelevant. If you guys were engaged, he shouldn't have said that. Now, playing devil's advocate, did he know that she was engaged? We don't know. I don't know. That's up for debate. Realistically, I mean, I guess in all fairness, that individual would have to be here to let us know whether or not he even knew that. Having said that, once he found out, he should have then apologized to not only her, but then apologized to you. And I'm going to take the stab that apology never came to fruition.
Like pig from a bacon, or bacon from
So-
pig. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, so it never happened. So okay, so now fast forward to just recently, where you were in an establishment, and you said a young lady was complaining about him, or a young lady was. What was the young lady doing? I'm confused on this other person now, because I think that's kind of where it threw me off.
A young lady that was his friend that I didn't know at the time was approaching us about a different situation. My wife was in there at the time, and she was talking to this person first. She brought me into the establishment because she wanted me to explain more about CP, about the CP situation, because I've dealt with it.
Right. So that's what. So your wife brings in this person to talk to you, and you were in that establishment, and as you guys were discussing it, you then noticed that the individual that you don't like that was blocked came in.
Yep.
And then that's when you told the proprietor, hey, you don't want people like him in your world simply because he's a bad egg. And then the person that owns the world said, no, he's not what you think. You know, he's not this, he's not that. He's a good egg and this and that and the other. And of course, you guys would have a difference of opinion. You shared your opinion to the owner of the world. And then you believe that the woman that your wife had brought to come see you to talk about CP, that was a friend of his, went back to him and told him what you guys were saying, because you have him blocked, so he can't hear you. But since she didn't have you blocked, and I guess if she's his friend, she doesn't have him blocked. So you believe that that's where that came forward. Okay.
Right.
So now, what's happened from there? I mean, have you heard from him? Has he contacted you? Has he said anything in regards to that situation, or did he just get informed? I mean, what happened?
That's where the video came about, oh, I'm a victim, I'm this, I'm that, I want this to stop.
Okay.
Everybody's against. Yeah.
Okay, so all right. Well, I wasn't quite aware of that there was a video out. So, well, if it's the same individual that I'm thinking of, then he's done quite a few of those videos from before in the past, where it's I'm the victim, you know, people treat me badly and whatever. Well, you know what? Everybody gets treated badly. I hate to tell you. It just depends on you whether or not you can actually take it or not. Can you take it? Me thinks not. But
did you bring your violin?
It's the world's smallest violin playing My Heart Beats Purple Piss for You. But no, and all joking aside, you know, I know that this individual has gone through ups and downs. He's gone through high points in his life, and then he's gone through some low points. And I've seen all sorts of videos. And, you know, back in the time where I actually did speak to this individual, if it's the same one I'm thinking, and I think it is, but if it's the same one I'm thinking, I did at one point speak to this individual on a more friend-like basis, where I tried to help him out with certain things. And basically, it was the action that he took against someone else is the reason why I no longer wanted to be associated with him. because of what I'm
Exactly.
not going to get into that because I'm not the one being interviewed here. You are. So
Mhm.
that's sometime for a different show at a different time. If you ever want to know, hell, go watch my Where's the Beef episodes on my YouTube channel. Cheap plug. You'll see it being mentioned there about what had happened with that. You'll get all the scoop on that from, I think, 2 different people that can speak on it. But be that as it may, I'm not here to criticize what he does or what he doesn't do. I do know that if he's done something that has irritated you guys, if there's a way that he can make it right, that he can make amends, what would he have to do? I mean, if anything, because I know you can't, it's not easy living with, the burden of guilt if he has any
Sure.
in regards to it. So what would he be able to do that would satisfy you and your wife to completely make the slate clean and just move forward from there? Not saying you have to be friends, just saying make the slate
Right.
clean so where, you guys can move forward and he can move forward knowing that there isn't that animosity anymore between the 3 of you.
There's nothing he really has to do. Like you said, this person has been through ups and downs, and it's rough. I'm not expecting, flowers and chocolate here. I'm not expecting a profound apology. Just keep my wife's name out of your mouth. That's all. You're blocked. You do what you want to do. We weren't trying to hurt you. We weren't trying to victimize you, make you feel any sort of way. If my wife said something she shouldn't have, she wasn't trying to. It wasn't something that was, trying to come out the way it came out. And if she did, I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't mind saying I'm sorry. Okay. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to mention my name on social media, and you're not going to mention my wife's name on social media and tell us to watch what we say, because it's freedom of speech and we're not hurting you. And like I said, I've looked you up. I know what you've done. Okay. But I'm not going to air that here because I'm not that type of man. Okay. You want to air your dirty laundry in your socks, that's on you. Okay. I'm not worried about that. Okay. But I will say this, there's nothing you have to do. But when you see us, don't come waving your arms around here. We don't want to talk to you. Just go about your life and don't worry about what we say. If you stop worrying about what people say about you, you know what type of man you are. Be that man. Okay? Whatever type of man that is, be that man. But don't step on my toes, boy, because I tell you one time, you step on my toes and hard enough to get back up, CP ain't gonna mean a motherfucking thing. No, and that's not a threat. I handle business the way I need to handle business. I haven't mentioned your name one time, and I'm not going to. Leave us alone. Point blank.
I mean, it's fair enough. It takes a bigger man just to move forward from the situation as it was. I know plenty of people in that scenario that you've been dealt with, that if that had happened to their wives, well, they'd have been going all out and making threats and all these things and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, God, why do we have to result into violence? But that's what a lot of people do nowadays, is they resort to violence or make idle threats to do all sorts of things and whatever. And it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Number one, this is the metaverse. Again, this is the metaverse. You can go try to reach out and touch somebody physically. It's not going to matter because you can't actually touch them. You can try to slap them across the face. Not going to matter. They're not going to feel it. It's the metaverse. They're an avatar. They're not going to feel it. It's all good. The only way you can hurt somebody is with your words. And even if the words were minorly inappropriate to some people, that can have a real effect on them. And in this case, his wife felt, violated, didn't like it. DJ felt, violated in his own right because it happened to his wife. They're a team. They're living life as one. And so he's already just said he's willing to move on from it. Just keep the names out the mouth. I don't know whether or not this individual will ever watch this. I think he's seen some of my videos. I'm sure he's watched here and there little bits and pieces and splices. Well, probably. I mean, when you have a quality thing like I do, you can't help but watch. I'm sorry, it is what it is. But it makes it really simple. You know, do the same thing that we've been asking to do for the longest time, and that's just keep our names out of your mouth. You don't need to talk about us. If you have this, interesting life like you're the Dos Equis dude, then you have plenty of interesting things to talk about rather than anything that happens here within these metaverse walls. I mean, why? It doesn't make any sense anymore, especially since this whole thing on Horizons is closing. I mean, the whole thing is closing for the VR, and it's going to be available mobile only. There's going to be so many people that aren't going to be wanting to get in the metaverse. Like, okay, for example, I feel bad for you in that aspect because the headset gave you some freedom. Yes, you could. Yes, you could. You had to use your hands for the controllers, and I know sometimes you complained about how difficult sometimes it was. Your hands would cramp up, it would hurt. You'd have to stop after a while, and I totally understood that. But can you imagine trying to hold a smaller device like a phone and using just your thumbs to move around? And they didn't even consider that aspect of the people that use the headset in order to get away. I know a very lovely and charming woman that's in here who had both of her legs amputated. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going to name names simply because I don't know if she wants her name mentioned on the show. But, we love you to death. We think you're one of the most awesome people we've ever met. You're a true pioneer for trying to get people with disabilities on the headsets. Yes. We absolutely love you for that. That being said, these people would put on the headsets and they'd go parkouring. They would go jumping and climbing and doing things that they normally would not be able to do in real life. They were having a chance to escape. They can't escape on a telephone, Zuckerberg. Yeah, I'm going to call you out by name. What are you going to do? Ban me? Go ahead. You're closing it down anyway. Be that as it may. Also, with that being said, though, I will say this note, just a little editor's note. I did hear some type of rumor that, Zuckerberg is now meeting with the people because maybe they think they've acted too hastily. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to postpone the closing down or not. I just heard that there were talks. I don't know what they're talking about, though. I don't get to have that kind of information. But you look like you wanted to say something.
I've gotta say something to what you mentioned. I don't get a lot of freedom. I
take your time.
I found this, and I was like, I don't want to do this. And I met Captain, and it's like I learned to build with my own two hands in Meta, and I learned to move and to pick things up and to build a table. I spent 26 minutes building a table using the lock tool. And the person that you're talking about that brings the people in with disabilities, she works with amputees. She's amazing individual, 100%. But when you have the freedom to be who you are, because I don't change for anybody. I don't have to disguise my avatar. I made my avatar look like myself as much as I could. I have the freedom to walk around. And it may not be a big deal to the people that are trying to close this down or may think about closing this down, but don't take away that freedom. We need it. There are people like you were saying that are trying to escape so much pain and hatred and hurt and all this stuff, and the Oculus is the only way they can do it. Why do I want to go to a phone? I don't want to go to a phone. I hate my phone. I hate answering my phone unless Captain Jack is on it, because he talks about, what do you want to do with the Laughing Tiger? We built it together. My wife and I built it together. I took ideas from several people that helped me build and come in and say, what about this? What about this? What about this? When you take away a person's freedom because you think something isn't working, look at what it's really doing. Look at who it's affecting. If you have the power to heal and take away someone's CP, per se, wouldn't you do that rather than shut it down? I'm not sure if you're going to watch this. I'm not sure if it's going to matter. But if I can fly, man, you give me the opportunity to fly, to do comedy all over the world? Are you shitting me? And you want to shut it down because it's about money? One time, can we take the blinders off and stop worrying about pinching pennies and look at what 2.6 billion people are dealing with right now? They have a place that they can go where they can be whoever they want to be. If they don't like themselves, they can create an entirely new person and be what they want to be. Doesn't matter if I think that's right or wrong. That's their decision. This gave me an opportunity to meet people I never thought I would meet. When my wife first asked me to come on the Oculus, I was like, oh, I don't do virtual reality. No. And one of the very first people I met was Captain Jack. And there was a moment where I went, is it weird that I like this? I'm starting to branch out. Now, comedy clubs, comedy sessions, walk the plank, this, that, and the everywhere.
Don't forget being in a play. You were also in a play in the metaverse.
Gosh. I met with the Comco Theater. I was in Romeo and Juliet, and I was in Hamlet. And
Shakespeare in the Park.
Never done that in my life. Oh my God. Was it hard? Hell yeah. Did I fuck up? Hell yeah. But I got it right. And I learned that even though my hands may not work the way I want them to, when you have enough motivation and a director, and I will mention their names, MetaVoice and Shihan and Captain Jack and the whole Comco Theater and our entire cast that worked their ass off for months to put together these plays. There are things happening in the metaverse that have never been done. A Christmas Carol just happened, and it was phenomenal. Not a Telltale Heart. It was based off a Telltale Heart, but the ability of these people. We all have problems, but this gives us a chance to not have to carry our problems and not do anything about them. We can talk to people. We can find people that have the same troubles we have, that deal with the same issues that we have. Did I think I was going to find 1,000 cerebral palsy people on Meta? No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to experience something different. And now I'm hit up for comedy spots left and right. And I love it because as virtual as it is, it's still real because you have to put in the time and the effort and the individuality and the work to do what you want to do. But you can do anything in Meta. So please reconsider what you're thinking. Talk about it. Find another way around it. Don't take away Horizon Worlds. We need it. It is the glue that holds our virtual reality together. And it's the best thing that's happened since my legs actually moved. And they only moved in meta until I took martial arts and worked harder than I've ever had to. But still, I'll say this. If you have a chance to fly and you don't need a plane to do it, why take away what does it? It's not about a phone. It's about a connection. And it gives people an opportunity to be who they are or whoever they want to be.
You know, for me, when I got onto this thing, the first thing I experienced was Beat Saber. And so I was, using that, and I found games like Vader Immortal where I got to, use a lightsaber and challenge Darth Vader, which was pretty cool.
Played it.
Yep, I actually have all three of them. Well, with that being said, what I noticed for myself is I suffer through a lot of back pain and hip pain and neck pain and all that kind of stuff. But when I'm here in the metaverse, I don't feel that pain anymore, because I can feel like I am my character. I am me. I am the avatar before you. And this avatar, as you can, well, the camera's not facing me, so you can't see what I'm doing out there on YouTube. Like, hi, how you doing there, Mr. Bot? But as you can see, I'm putting my hand through my arm. You wouldn't be able to do that in real life without chopping your arm off. You can't feel anything. And it's kind of in the psyche to kind of flow yourself through the avatar. I don't feel any pain. Now, granted, when I take off the headset, here comes the back pain and all the neck pain and everything again, and I start to feel it. But for that split second, for that one moment, that I can feel free from pain, like the amputees that suffer with having to deal with wheelchairs and having people help them out of here or help them up to this or do that, and when they can't do it themselves because it's difficult, or maybe they can, it's just hard for them to do. They don't have to worry about that in here. They just move their controllers, move the joysticks, and they can run. They can jump. They can fly, like what you were talking about. They can get in cars and drive. They can ride horses. They can do a number. They can swing a baseball bat, throw a football. They can do numbers of things. And the advancements are going even more and more further with the VR that I wish they wouldn't stop, because the things that they're going to be able to do if they really stuck with it. Imagine, imagine the people like that were in wheelchairs that are, quadriplegics. And they maybe some of them use their mind to type out words, and then the computer says something. What if they figured out a way to hook up VR to something to that aspect, to where they can, put maybe an attachment to the head, and then they can utilize their brain waves and their eyes to control what they're doing in VR. Now they have arms and legs, they can move, and I don't know about you, but I would never want to leave that kind of a world.
Exactly.
But even if, as I sit here now, and I know that once I take off the headset, I'm going to start feeling the back pain that I've had for years. I'm going to start feeling the hip pain that I've had for years. A lot of it is sports injuries. Some of it is just, getting old. It happens. It happens to all of us once we get to be certain ages. We start sounding like freaking breakfast cereals when we get out of bed. Just a snap, crackle, pop. And it gives us a way to feel really good. And don't forget, it's not just all about physical limitations. There's also the mental ones as well. Think of the people that have social anxiety, that have a hard time talking to people in open, who definitely couldn't be on a stage and talk to people, let alone do a play or be on a comedy stage or anything like that. This gives them the avenue to do that, because most of those people, in order for them to function in society, they have to put on a mask in order to be somebody different. Well, what the fuck do you think the VR headset is? It is a fancy electronic mask, and it gives them something to do. They can turn their avatar, they can be, do whatever they look like in real life. They can look completely 180-degree difference in the metaverse, look totally different. And maybe that they feel good about themselves looking that way. Okay, so maybe they don't have such social anxiety anymore. And it teaches them how to talk to people, how to be able to be around other people without feeling anxious and without panicking. It is a wonderful wonderful psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever you want to call it. A mental therapist is what it is. It's really good for that. But like you said, it's all about the dollar. All they care about is how much did we lose this quarter? Well, how much did you gain? How much did the people out there that use this, how much did they gain? To me, granted, you can't really take that. Excuse me, my throat's getting dry. You can't really take that to the stockholders and say, we're going to keep running with this, even though we're losing a ton of money, and so are you. We're just going to keep running with this because it makes Billy Joe Bob feel great about himself. Obviously, I mean, I get it from the business standpoint. But like I said in one of my posts on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, you can follow me, Captain Jack Morgan, cheap plug. You can, I'm sorry, I had to do it. Just like what I said, we need to be the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Just because they want to burn this place to the ground does not mean that we are going to burn to the ground. We can very easily rise from the ashes and create on another platform. We can take what we've learned here, move to other platforms, and excel. Maybe in a couple of years, they'll realize their mistake. Maybe they'll bring Horizon Worlds back, but as a under a different name, so it's not Horizon Worlds. So people are like, "Aha! I told you so." Maybe they say, "Oh, we're introducing a brand new," probably the same place, only maybe different looking avatars, different programming, whatever. Could be. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. It wouldn't surprise me. I have plenty of ideas for what they could do to help make money. Which, by the way, another cheap plug coming up soon. I'm holding another, my last Where's the Beef episode. It'll be coming up here very, very soon. So keep your eye on my YouTube channel to find out the date. I'm already in process of trying to get things recorded for it. It's basically going to be, if you want to be a part of it, let me know. Where's the Beef? Meta versus anybody that's got an issue with Horizon Worlds closing. So if you have an issue with it closing and you want to put in your 2 cents and be on Where's the Beef to let Meta know how you feel, come to the show. Come to the show and let your voice be heard. Absolutely. Do you have anything further that you want to say? Because I know we're a little bit running out of time, but I want you to give your final thoughts on some things, and then I want you to let everybody know where they can contact you in case they have questions in regards to your CP World, your Laughing Tiger, or anything else that you got going on. I know you used to have a podcast on Facebook. I've been begging you to bring that back. I want you to bring that back because I enjoyed being not only on it, but watching it.
Well, we boy,
I just put you on the spot. You rat
there it was, right? I knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming.
One of these days, Alice. No, I have a YouTube that is My CP Does Not Define Me. Where we're starting a show on Fridays now. Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Myself and my other host that's going to be a part of this, and it's called Let's Talk About It. We're talking about different topics and things like that. So you can follow me on YouTube at My CP Does Not Define Me. You can follow me on Instagram at My CP Does Not Define Me. You can follow me on X, My CP Does Not Define Me. You can follow me on Facebook at My CP Does Not Define Me. Because I have like pages and everything for it, but just
so
to,
bottom
just
line, your CP does not define you. Let's just put it that way.
You can't let any disability define you, because when your disability or your problem defines you, you're part of the problem and not the solution. It doesn't matter what problems we have. We all have problems, whether it's chronic back pain, whether it's the attack of the killer mattress. Again, that's for another show, another time. I will say one thing about Captain. I've always said he's very calming, and I want to comment to Meta, whoever is out there, there's one piece of this that we're missing. When you have someone that deals with anxiety, it brings on so many more things, seizures, disorders.
Mhm.
If a person can be in the same room across the world or across the United States and sitting in the same room with somebody and they're freaking out because they've had a bad day, sure, they can call them on the phone. They can call them on the phone. But to be able to see them, to look at them, to be able to focus on them and to hear it's okay, everything's going to be all right. Try this. Just breathe. You're going to get through this. The most amazing thing about the individual standing to my left is it's a calming factor when you're going through hell and you're upset because I've been through it. Um, I haven't even scratched the surface of my life. That would be a marathon show. But when you can go through this and you can make it uh, better by someone calming you down just in virtual reality, and you're able to fall asleep because that person has taken away the anxiety that you faced and kept you from going into a pain crisis, and your wife is sitting there going, "You're smiling, you're okay." That to me is better than any medicine you could ever give. No prescription with no side effects. Sure, charge $15.99 a month, $20.99 a month. I'd pay $30 a month for this. It's worth it. We need it. It's not a drug. It's not a problem. It's a solution to a problem that has plagued the world for most of its 2,000 years. Not knowing what to do or where to start. All you have to do is go up and say hi. And once you bridge that gap and the person gets to know you, you can make a friend for a lifetime and a family for a lifetime over a headset, a mask to take away all the anxiety, not all the pain, and the person can go through it with you. You can help them to understand. So I guess to close, meta for me is better than any medicine I take. I didn't used to enjoy it because I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel like I could get it. I didn't feel like I could understand it until I started learning what Meta could really do and the programs within Meta and the clubs and the people and the names that I mention or don't mention. There are going to be problems everywhere, but there are very few solutions to those problems looking you right in the face. Thank you, Captain, for having me on the show. This has been great. Wish we could do a part 2, 3, 4, 500, but because every time it's just like, man, I wish I would have said that. Man, I wish I would have said that. But it just, this was very therapeutic for me.
Well, you're welcome. And we loved having you. Now, you mentioned a part 2, 3, 4. We always we don't recommend, but we always ask in respect, usually off camera. I'll do it on camera. If you want to come back for a part 2, if you got more to talk about, more things to discuss, things that are going on in your real life, like, you know, we'll just give like a little nugget where you guys, you and your wife, you create crafts that you try to raise money for cerebral palsy for a particular group. You know, you can talk about your service dog and how your service dog works for you. And, you know, you can talk about any number of things. You know, how does it like to live where you live in regards to what you got going on? There can be a number of things that you can want to talk about. If you want to come back for a part 2, we can try to schedule it at some point. If you're interested to come back for a part 2.
I say book them, Dano. Let's do it.
Book 'em, Dano. All right. So now we're Hawaii 5-0. We've really gotten our. Can I just slap
I'll
him?
put
No,
it-
never mind. I'm just gonna slap
I'll put it in your lingo, Captain. Aye, aye, Captain. Where we be heading?
Oh my goodness. Check, please. Separate checks. Separate checks. Yes, he's paying for his own ass. Anyway, so I do want to say thank you, DJ, for coming out and letting me interview you today. It's been very informative, and we hope that any negative that you had to talk about today, we hope that it sheds some light, or a light gets shed on it, so that it can solve itself, and you can go on and be happy. So I just want to say in closing, once again, the metaverse has given so many people the opportunity to make a plethora of connections, people that they would normally never have any idea that they would have ever existed. As DJ said, he came in here, he didn't know how to use this place, he wasn't too sure. One of the first people he met was me. And I spent, I don't know how long, trying to show him how to build and how to do it. He said, what was it, 26 minutes just to build a table? But he did
I
it.
think it was the table leg and the top.
The table leg and the top. But he did it. He finally learned how to do it. And then he started building with his wife and starting to build worlds. And, so he learned how to do it. So that was good. You're going to meet people here that are good. You're going to meet people here that are, well, not so good. But be that as it may, you're going to be able to expand, no pun intended, you're going to be able to expand your horizons in here and really put forth a foot that might have not otherwise left an imprint anywhere in the world. You get the chance to talk to people. I myself live on the West Coast. He is on the East Coast. But yet here we are just across the table from one another. You have chances to meet people from other countries now that it's expanded into the UK and all sorts of other different regions. You have the in Canada, and you have all sorts of opportunities to meet plenty of people from all around the world. We cherish those moments and we cherish those connections. I know plenty of people in here that have their groups of people that are just as small as 3 or 4 people. And then they have larger groups like 20, 30 to up to 100 people that hang out with all each other. And maybe they never would have met. So for the fact that if you're in here and you've given it a shot, you know that it's a special place. We implore you, Meta, do not get rid of Horizon Worlds for the VR. We understand that you want to compete with these other companies that are making billions from the younger youth market, and you can just go ahead and do all that. But there's other ways that you can still make money utilizing the headset for us adults that don't want to have a phone in our face 24/7. You have to understand that having the phone in your face, you could be anywhere in public, yes, but you're also a danger to other people. If you're just walking down the street using your phone, you're not paying attention, you could cause a traffic accident, you could walk in front of something, you could walk into poles and whatever and hurt yourself, you can fall off a curb and break your phone, and then what? We understand there's different reasons why you want to have it for the phone. And the first one is money, because you want to compete with these other markets like Roblox and whatnot. But just understand, not everybody wants to be on the phone. There's a large market of people that want to just be on the headset. So please keep it available for the headset and Horizons. I know I would love that. DJ would love that. His wife would love that. There's plenty of people that I know that would love that too. And we just got in to start building lots of things, and now we feel like it's all been taken away from us. Sure, we can do it on the desktop editor, but I don't want to sit in front of a computer for the rest of my life. Sometimes I would just want to be on the headset and enjoy the fruits of my labor, as well as other people's labor and what they've done. So try to find happiness in whatever you decide to do. Talking to the people out there, not necessarily Meta, they're going to find happiness as long as they get money. But try to find happiness in whatever you do. Even if Horizon Worlds close, there's plenty of other opportunities out there within the headset for more social outlets. If not, use what you've learned in Horizons to get out into the real world and create your own social outlet. Be something more than just the headset. Don't just rely on the headset to become somebody special, because believe it or not, before you even got on the headset, you yourself were very special. and still are. You just have to remember that. So again, for my guest, DJ Tiger 42, I am Captain Jack Morgan. Thank you to my bot that's been recording this entire time. Stay tuned for episode 5 of Walk the Plank, where I will let you know on my YouTube channel who that guest is going to be. And trust and believe, it's going to be a barn burner as well. So again, thank you, DJ, for showing up tonight. It's been Captain Jack Morgan. See if I can, hey, what do you know? I actually grabbed the hat this time and not my beads. Stay tuned for the next episode of Walk the Plank, as well as my very last episode of Where's the Beef on my YouTube channel, Captain Jack Morgan. Have a good night, everybody.